Okay, today we are playing a game on Dorado. The average SR of this game was 2,227, and we will be playing roughly a quarter of the game as D.Va before changing to Winston for the rest of the game. And our current team composition is Reinhardt, D.Va, Mei, Soldier, Lucio, and Mercy. It's fine. I'm not big into the Mei, personally. I'd rather have a Reaper or a Doomfist. You couldn't pick Doomfist at this point in time, but I'd rather have a Reaper or Doomfist. But it's fine, it's personal preference, really, because the thing is as well, first checkpoint on Dorado, first choke point is rather terrible, and a Mei makes it harder for them to just walk through the choke point if that's what they keep trying to do, so, you know, it's fine. I'm just not big into the Mei personally. So, also if they have a D.Va, Mei makes it really hard for D.Va to play D.Va, really, so... No, she won't kill the D.Va, but it just makes it really hard for D.Va to not get killed by the rest of Mei's team, you know? So, let's just start the game. We're defending right now. We're up here with the rest of our team. I don't really like to stand up here, because I find you can get picked off very suddenly if you're unlucky, which is generally best avoided. We're gonna get pretty carried away right here. We see Mei's wall, and we're like, oh, I'm gonna go in. We're not really allowed to do this, and we bait the rest of our team down here as well, which is not good. Mercy's pretty unhappy about it as well. But we managed to get away with it. We have learned that they have a Mei as well, which is important information because Mei is going to make it difficult for us to play D.Va. They also have a Zarya, which is also bad for D.Va. Reinhardt still down here, getting bullied around by Mei. Now we're going to get bullied around by Mei. Oh, got frozen in front of their entire team. Reinhardt felt like he had to come out here and help us, but now he's getting frozen by Mei. So Reinhardt's dead. We're out of mech right now. Mei is just going to run straight fucking at us, and she's going to kill our Mercy. So Mei just single-handedly killed both our tanks and our main healer. So, cat's leaving now. There goes the cat. So, basically, if we didn't bait Reinhardt down there, probably none of that actually happens, because the reason we went back down was because Reinhardt was getting bullied around by the Mei, but then we got bullied around by the Mei, and then Mei just went back to bullying Reinhardt, and then Mei was like, fuck it, I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs, and she just ran right at Mercy. So, Mei just single-handedly winning them the push right there, and, you know, we facilitated it, so that's the scary thing with playing a tank, is if you go too in, you do bait the rest of your team to go in with you, and I mean, they should know that they aren't meant to go that far in with you as well, but some people are gonna do it, so you just don't really want to risk baiting them in at all, really. So, we've got to try and regroup now. Their Hanzo used his ultimate. They have a lot of DPS, actually. We're good against Hanzo and Pharah, but Mei is going to make it really difficult for us, as well as Zarya. Mei's just throwing her ult in over there. We do want to control this high ground, but the thing is as well, we're not really doing anything up here. I've gone back massively too far suddenly, despite pushing the back arrow once. So, the thing is with controlling this high ground as D.Va, is us being up here doesn't really do anything, because the whole point of a D.Va being up here is because you're trying to help the person that's actually good at using the high ground, like the McCree or the Soldier or whatever, or to get other people off of the high ground. There's none of that up here, so us being, like, here comes Pharah, and we're gonna make Pharah go away. But then after that, there's no reason for us to go back up there, because our team isn't up there, and they aren't trying to get control of the high ground. We don't use high ground very well as D.Va, so we're better off just being on the ground, like, adding our presence to the front line, because what are we doing up here? We're, like, shooting at them and doing some chip damage. So, there's nothing for us to do up here. Our presence is better off down there. If somebody comes up here, then we should come up here to try and get them off, or try and help, like, our team if they're coming up here as well. But just us being up here by ourselves doesn't really do anything. So we're coming back down now. Mei threw her ult in, and our Mei is now dead. But that's kinda all that happened. However, they still have a Mei, and that's making it really difficult for us. Bit of an overreaction to fly back away this far, because, yeah, we get frozen. But Mei by herself is not the scary thing, it's the fact she can freeze you in front of her team. So, we're getting healed by Mercy, we don't need to retreat backwards this far, because, you know. However, that does mean we are in a better position to take care of the Pharah's ult, so, you know, it all works out in the end, but it was a bit of an overreaction to retreat back that far. Now, however, Mei's frozen us directly in front of the remainder of her team. Mercy is now dead, so she can't help us, and we just sort of get bullied to death by D.Va and Zarya. Feels bad, man. I would change off D.Va, really. As soon as I see the enemy team has a Mei and a Zarya, that's like two people that make it really hard for you to play D.Va. So I would have changed off D.Va a while ago at this point, because this is just what happens, and there's not really much you can do about it. If the pro tip, if the enemy team has a D.Va and she's really causing your team trouble, switch to Mei. Switch to Mei and Zarya, and that D.Va will not be causing you any trouble anymore. No, sir. As we've seen so far. We do change to Winston right here. Which is, Mercy's getting very upset right now.
We already lost one healer. I can switch to Zane.
So, now we're playing Winston, which I think is better, because we're better at fighting. We're not better at fighting Mei, but Mei isn't gonna make us quite as sad, so, because we can actually use our bubble to protect ourselves, whereas D.Va has nothing to protect herself from Mei, so it's an improvement. We're not gonna kill Mei, but Mei's gonna have a harder time killing us.
Way to hold him back.
So, and we've also got, like, a Hanzo to beat up, and we're not that much worse at fighting Zarya, because we can do what we're gonna do right here, which is effectively the same thing. She got shot directly in the face by another rocket, so, you know, but, Winston is also pretty good against Pharah, because you can do the exact same thing right there. I think I might have said Zarya before, I meant Pharah, if I did. So, now we've jumped in, we've got our bubble. Dance around. We got pushed away by Lucio, which really fucked things up for us, and we end up getting fucked before we can even get away. That's fucking broken-ass keyboard has just gone back about 8,000 times. Which is very... I'm so upset. Professionalism. Okay. We've done it. We're back. So we got booped away by Lucio, and that's what really fucks it up. And then, by the time we can actually jump away, we're already too low HP, and we're kind of fucked. It happens, you know. If we didn't get booped away by Lucio, we probably end up killing Zenyatta, because we actually would have been tasing him for a while within the safety of our bubble. By the time we get back in position, we have to leave, so it's very sad. However, we've been rezzed. Mei is using her ultimate again, but we're not in it. Oh, thank God Mei was killed before she could actually freeze us. Lots of ultimates happening. We got Hanzo up here. We're on Hanzo. Hanzo's very sad.
Shit.
He's still killed Mercy, but it doesn't matter because our spawn is so close that Mercy will be back in no time, so we don't have to worry about it. We're already 66% of the way to having Primal Rage, so that's pretty cool. Again, not really an ultimate you actively think about using, but it is just nice to have because it's sort of the I don't die button. So, Reinhardt has gone in, like, pretty way too far, but we've come over here to help him. Pharah ulted, so we get him out of it. Reinhardt didn't deserve to get away with that. Oh god, she just ults directly in our face. Not much you can do about that one, except have your bubble up, because then you can slap it down in front of her face and she'll kill herself. But bubble had like 1 second left on the cooldown when we died. Feels bad, man. Not a lot you can do about that one, really. If someone's gonna ult you point blank, they're gonna ult you point blank. Hanzo's using his ult now. We're jumping straight in, we're on him, we've got Primal Rage, we're really close to Primal Rage as well, so we didn't really have to worry about when we decided to jump in. You do have to ult a lot sooner than that, though, when you know the enemy team has a Mei. When you feel yourself about to get frozen, you basically have to ult, because there is a very high possibility you will die before you come out of the freeze. And now we won't get back in time. You don't have to worry about jumping in when you have Primal Rage up, because you have the 1000 HP barrier to actually save yourself when you jump in. But if the enemy team has CC, you do have to account for the CC and use Primal Rage sooner than you normally would, because if you get frozen or if you get flashbanged, you die. You will probably die before you can actually use Primal Rage, so you have to actually use it sooner. Right as you, like, feel yourself about to get frozen, because, I mean, you know, you can feel the cold chill of death creeping up your spine, so just right before then. Right before he puts his finger on you. So, we're attacking now. As you might have inferred from the timeline, it doesn't exactly go super well. As the first checkpoint on Dorado is known to be, it's really unfortunate that we ended up losing the first checkpoint so quickly, because that's usually where a lot of Dorado gets decided, is the first checkpoint, and we didn't do a very good job of guarding the first checkpoint. In fact, we lost it very, very rapidly to May.
Take care of that
So, really sucks. You know, it really sucks. Who would have guessed, losing. So, we jump in, right on them. This is very spooky to do, because they do have a May, and we're jumping right on top of Orisa and Reinhardt as well, who... Reinhardt doesn't have to worry about our barrier at all, and Orisa will do a lot of damage to you point blank, so it's a very scary jump. If you actually get frozen by May, you die almost certainly. So, wouldn't really recommend jumping up there, because it's 3 people you don't really want to fight. And what are you really gonna gain off of it? Like, you're not gonna knock Orisa off the edge. And if you knock Reinhardt off the edge, it probably doesn't amount to that much. So it's just sort of very risky, with very little potential upside. Whereas instead, we knew they had a Symmetra. We could have gone looking for the Symmetra, or just, like, zapping her turrets off the choke point, as there no doubt is. Rather than going to... You don't want to fight the people that you're weak against, ever, really. Because... you're weak against them, why would you, So there's a lot of turrets over there. All those turrets are dead now. Hanzo's killed a bunch of people. 2 people on our team currently dead, so we don't really want to be up here fighting, because, well, you're not going to win a push in when you're down 2 people. We're trying our best, but all we're really doing is increasing our chances of getting picked off before our team can regroup. Hanzo's using his ult right now. Doesn't kill anybody. Nope, doesn't kill anybody. So we're sort of going around the back end right now. We're looking for Mercy. Their team is not great at peeling Winston off of their Mercy quickly. So, but we sort of lost track of the Mercy and then ended up not getting very much done. Now Reinhardt's Earth Shattered us, and we can't really do a whole lot about that because we don't have a Reinhardt to block it with, so... Mei is now using her ultimate, which also really sucks. We're jumping in. We can't really do anything with the Mei, so we might as well jump in and try to fight the people that we're actually, like, good at fighting. But unfortunately, we get shot as we're coming in, and we end up getting killed. Mercy could have taken a 2-person res right there, which would have probably been pretty sick, actually, but she did not do it. Well, maybe we weren't, like, in range of the Reinhardt, to be fair. The Reinhardt, the McCree, fucking hell. So, half our team currently dead. Bongo over there right now. We don't even want to be over here fighting, because what are we going to do while 2 people are dead and they've got the Bongo?
You can use those res. Or close
Mercy has decided to res just the soldier. I don't know about that one. And then we lose McCree right afterwards, so I don't know about that one. I feel like it was probably not a great use of company resources. So we have Primal Rage now, which is pretty sick, and we're going to go in and try and get something done with it. Soldiers just... Okay. Soldiers just told us that he was going around to flank, which almost certainly means he has tac visor up. Don't worry, I'm just dying. So, Soldier was telling us he was flanking, which means he has tac visor up. So he comes over here. So we go in at roughly the same time and we get their Mercy. So, this actually goes really well. But here's the thing, they have a Symmetra teleporter right now. As soon as I kill that Mercy, I go looking for the teleporter. And there's like a couple places it usually is. It's typically, oh my god, I just tried to use a keyboard shortcut, and my keyboard is broken, so instead of actually using the shortcut, it's just teleported us back right to the start of the game. God, what a disaster.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit, apparently. If we go back far enough. Here we go. As soon as I kill the Mercy, I go looking for the Symmetra teleporter. Because here's the thing, Mercy's their only healer. So we've killed their one healer. Symmetra also dies. We know they have a teleporter. So we've got to go and find that before Mercy can go through it and res her entire team. It is usually in this... It is usually over in these houses over here. It is sometimes behind the archway, and it is very, very rarely over here. But as soon as I kill the Mercy, I go looking for the teleporter. Winston isn't exactly great at killing the teleporter quickly, but you were in the best position to try and break the teleporter, and you want to break it before Mercy gets back, because then she's going to res the whole team and you're going to be really sad. Spoiler warning, that's exactly what happens. Or, like, call out that there's a teleporter and we want to try and break the teleporter as quickly as possible. We don't do that. We do not break it and we do not find it in time. Mercy's come back, res their whole team, and they are in fact going to swing the entire fight back around off of that momentum. We've broken the teleporter now, but, it's a bit like locking the stable door after the, horse has already run away. So, now, we're pretty fucked. We don't have enough ultimates to really do that again, and now they're gonna have more ultimates than us as we come in for this one. So our chances are not exactly fantastic. McCree also gets killed right as we're arriving. This is an absolutely tragic use of a D.Va. We've been earth-shattered, you know. May's using her ultimate. As you can see, they have a lot of ultimates. We don't have any ultimates, so this is going about as well as anticipated. We even started to get frozen up there, even though doesn't really look like you should get frozen from up there. Well, we've lost the game. I'm sure this will become as no great surprise, but we have lost the game right now.
Getting our ass.
We're gonna go try, as you do, but we're fucked. We all know we're fucked. We lost the game. So, I feel like Mercy could have done a lot better in this game, because I feel like she could have gotten a lot better reses than the one that she chose to take, but it's hard to tell if you can't see the Mercy's perspective, to be fair, so we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. The two, two moments that really stand out to me as, like, the moments where we might have impacted the entire course of the game are right at the start when we bait our team off of the high ground, and that indirectly leads to a bunch of our team getting killed, and we lose the entire first checkpoint because of that. So we don't know if the defense would have gone any better, because it happened in a parallel universe, but it couldn't really have gone much worse than a May just single-handedly walking through and killing your entire team. So that stands out as, like, the moment where we might have changed the entire course of the game. Because who knows, they might have never gotten it past the first checkpoint. We don't know. They might have gotten it their way slower, and our team wouldn't be so tilted by that time that came around. And the other moment is we could have tried to go and break the teleporter as soon as we killed Mercy. Because when you kill the enemy team's only healer, you expect to win that fight, really, and then Symmetra died as well. So, even though you're not great at killing the teleporter, the people who are still alive, you're not really good at killing. The only person left alive that you were good at killing was Hanzo, and the rest of it was, like, tanks, who Winston is really bad at fighting. So even though you're bad at killing a teleporter as well, you were in the best position to do so, and you weren't going to bring that much extra to your front line. So if you break the teleporter, maybe we get past the first checkpoint, and then who knows after that point. If we get the first checkpoint, we've got a whole theoretical game that could have happened. We don't know. But those are the two moments that, like, really stand out as, like, maybe we could have won the game if we played those two moments differently. There isn't really, like, a huge overarching thing that, like, or anything that stood out to me in this game as, like, a recurring issue. But, I think it's important to recognize the moments where you could have heavily impacted the game. And I think those were like the two opportunities, I think, where we really had a good chance to affect the course of the game. So, thank you very... Actually, wait, let me check the email really quick. There wasn't a question in here that I'm, like, totally glossing over, is there? It's this one. I have a lot of emails. Hold up. Let me just check real quick that I'm not forgetting a question. Can't really figure out what we're wrong, other than we were bad. Insight is appreciated. It basically appears like a straight snowball after the first checkpoint. It's not like a straight snowball, but that really dictated the pace for the second checkpoint, because they had a lot of ultimates to really just, like, blitz through the second checkpoint. Then we kind of stalled them out when we had the ult advantage, but then they took it back again. So the first checkpoint really, like, dictated the pace of their attack, and then, you know, the first checkpoint on Dorado is hard to get through, but we already talked about that part. So, yeah, those are the things that stood out to me the most in this game. So thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.